I did a journal article review on simulated and community-based instruction, teaching students with intellectual and developmental disabilities to make financial transactions. This was written by Mary Barzak and reviewed by me, Kirstie Pfrimmer. So basically this article was about students with intellectual disabilities or developmental disabilities who need to be taught personal finance so that they can be more included in our community, just like in school, inclusive environment for when they become adults, as well as having a more independent financial future. They go through two options for instruction: simulated instruction, which provides repeated practice in a classroom setting for the student to learn the material. And then they continue it with CBI, which is community-based instruction, where this allows the students to be provided with real-world experiences so that they can actually be prepared for actual occurrences in the future when they are an adult. The author's perspective. Generalization is the goal to be taught for students with intellectual or developmental disabilities. The author decided that using a combination of simulations and community-based instructions would be the ideal teaching method so that generalization can be accomplished. In the article, they described that there needs to be a varied use of simulations. In the classroom setting, students can use items such as picture prompts, videos, task analysis, and what these are like picture prompts are for beginning stages to where, for example, if they are at a bank, they will go through picture prompts to decide what they need and what they don't need. This allows them to repeat over and over again until they have the prompts down. Videos can help model how they should act in a public setting and what their next steps are in the setting. And then task analysis is basically a breakdown of from step one to basically the very beginning. Okay, what do I need? If it's getting money out of an ATM, I need my debit card. I need to walk to the ATM machine, step by step, all the way to at the end where they're putting their PIN number in and receiving the cash and finishing the transaction with, most of the time, ATM says, do you want to complete another transaction? So this is basically what task analysis is. And with simulations in the classroom, the students can go over this over and over and over again. And it's important to note that the classroom needs to be set up to where it looks like an ATM or a grocery store or the movie theater, anything like that, where they have what they need: deposit bank slips or a pretend debit machine, debit cards that the teachers can make for the students. And then the author goes on to say that you also need the other half of CBI, community-based instruction. They state that teachers have to carefully plan this and utilize community engagement so that the students can be successfully generalized over what has been taught and they can be successful in the future. My opinion is that I agree that a combination of both simulations and CBI will positively affect students to generalize how they will use their personal finances in the real world. I have personally seen this method work in middle school and high school setting, completing service hours for my bachelor's degree. Since my major was in special education, students repeatedly worked on going to the movie theater and completing a transaction where they go up to the teller and say that they would like to purchase a ticket for this movie at this time, and then either use their cash or their debit card. And we did a lot of training with that in the classroom until we felt that they were ready. And then they took field trips to the movie theater where they actually, at Homestead Theater here in Florida, the community involvement was highly effective there. They took their time with them all the way from 5th grade to 12th grade, understanding that these children, had intellectual disabilities and that they were willing to work with them and help them to where they understood what to do in the future. My implications to practice would be that students with intellectual disabilities and developmental disabilities have the same right to learn financial independence. They should not have to worry about thinking that mom or dad or caretaker will always use their finances for themselves. They should have some right to where they can use their finances how they see fit, especially if they can handle it on their own. I also realize that there are multiple methods to learn with simulations and community-based instruction, just how in an elementary school classroom I can teach my own students multiple methods to learn, as well as generalize certain topics for future practices, especially when it comes to, say, like money. I can teach students in 2nd grade the concepts of money, and we can actually use it in real life. I can bring in real money, real coins, so that they can generalize that this is actually used in the real world, especially since I do have students who have learning disabilities that include autism, ADHD. I even have a student with intellectual disabilities, so this is a key factor in helping them later on in life. And finally, this is my reference sheet, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you.